Welcome to Moreno Valley College President's Hour, heard on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes, and as seen on YouTube. This is Riverside Community College District Public Affairs Officer Leslie Vargas, and I welcome you to sit back and enjoy engaging conversations with students, colleagues, and community leaders, all hosted by MVC President Dr. Rudy Besikof.
Thank you, Leslie. Pull up a chair and join us at the President's Hour today for episode number 4. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
We got 4 already. Wow. Well, you know what? Students in leadership and campus life are our themes for today, and we will be welcoming Kailisha Wiggs and Tyjon Cowie to the program. As always, we'll also put the spotlight on our employment partners of MVC, and we've got a good one today, and discuss scholarships available to students through my office as well as the RCCD Foundation. You know, Leslie, looking outside the window here in our comfortable studio in the Humanities Building, as always, we see a lot of great activity here in the MVC Plaza, and whether it's the library, the iMake Innovation Center, and tutoring and support provided in our engagement centers, or even across the quad in the Lion's Den cafeteria. I had a corn dog yesterday. Things are buzzing, you know, excuse me, they're not buzzing. They're roaring. They're like a mountain lion. Yes. That's right. So, you know, you can take in the program anytime on iTunes, iHeartRadio, or Spotify, and actually my very own YouTube channel, Dr. Besikof Talks Education is the name of it. Leslie, how can the audience get in touch with the program and access previous episodes?
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Besikof. They can email us at prezhour@mvc.edu. That's PREZ hour@mvc.edu. Like us on Facebook at Moreno Valley College and follow us on Instagram and X at Moreno Valley College. Dr. Besikof also does social media, and you can find him at Dr. Besikof on Instagram, and the Dr. Besikof Talks Education YouTube channel has all of his content.
All right, and you know, I don't want to do like a cheap radio gimmick here, but what I'm going to do ahead and say is the next email that we get to the Prez Hour email, I'm going to buy the sender a jumbo Snickers bar.
I like it. I need to go send my
Let's come down there and say, Prez Hour at mvc.edu. That's right. You know what? I'm Rudy Besikof, president of Moreno Valley College, the only public higher game in town for higher education since 1991, and home of the Mountain Lions. You know, like so many things with the president's office, my work is the result of the great team. In addition to Leslie, Chris Rangel makes us look and sound good with all of his work behind the scenes. Vice President Jake Kavari helps us with planning the show, and the all-star team in the CTE office, led by Dean Eric Anthony, pitches in as show contributors. But you know what? Getting things kicked off today, of course, is my co-host, Leslie Vargas. Leslie, how are you?
I'm doing great. We've been here since early this morning.
Yeah, we were here for the Manufacturing Council of the Inland Empire. They had their regular HR meeting. Moreno Valley College was very happy to host.
Packed house.
Yeah, packed house of HR professionals as well as individuals working in just advanced manufacturing, talking about just opportunities for students, and I thought it was incredible. And one of those examples of things where, students go to class, and that's what a college is, but a college can be so much more beyond that. So I wanted to ask you, in your own experience as a college student, or even as a high school student, what was something you did beyond your classes?
I think beyond my classes, if we go back to high school, is I was privileged to help in the mayor's office. So it was my first example with leadership. I started off by having a sweet potato pie at an event.
Oh, wow.
The mayor never had sweet potato pie. He wanted to taste it, asked, and then I started making pies for him that I didn't know my mom, she was buying all the ingredients. Now I know how much these things cost. But that opened the door for me to be a leader and start helping. That was the small introduction, was food, but then they realized all my great potential and all these different leadership roles.
So Leslie, one thing I'm going to make a note of for the future for this program is to eat beforehand, because right now you mentioned sweet potato pie, and that's kind of got me going here. But that's a great answer. So I want to welcome Kailisha Wiggs to the program. Kailisha, could you tell our audience your role in the student government?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's definitely an honor. My role is a student body president for the 25-26 academic year.
Excellent. Is it okay if I call you Kai?
Absolutely.
All right, and just arriving to the program, I want to welcome Tyjon Kelly. Welcome, and tell us your role.
I am the student body vice president.
Okay. So kind of like I asked Leslie, what's something you've done so far, maybe one event or one activity beyond taking your classes that's been the most memorable to you, Kai?
I would say the actual event, if I can remember still to this day, it was my first ASMBC event. It was Black History Month. I had just started at the college, spring, I believe it was 23. And I was just getting out of class and I could just hear music and sounds. And I was like, what's going on? You know, I'm a little nosy, unfortunately. So, you know, I followed my ears and then my nose because, like Leslie, the food definitely, and I could just smell it coming out of the sass. And I walked in and the whole room was full of people. The decorations were amazing. They were playing a game of Kahoot, and it was Black music trivia. When I'm like, oh my God, music's my thing. Like, what is this and why aren't I a part of it? And that actually is what started me with student government. I actually started with them as a volunteer after attending that event. And I have been involved ever since. And it really has made my student life, I think, much better than just coming and going home, which was what I was doing every day.
Okay. Ty, how about you? What's the first thing maybe you remember activity-wise besides your classes?
The first thing I can remember is our info booths. This is before I was in student government. So like we always had, you know, Kai and Miss Moore. This is when our previous student body is in office. And I was the type of student to come to school and go home. Like I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to talk to anybody else. I would avoid eye contact. I would avoid everything because I was just so nervous. And like I came out of high school because I graduated at 18. So when I came to college, I was thinking like everybody, but these are older people. They're probably better than me and all these things. So our info booths, like Miss Moore is like, come get your free snacks, come get your free this, and always that food. So they had you a free snack. So it was that, and then like, I guess on the second day I had like came over and they were telling me about student government, and then somehow I ended up in the student activities center, and then I applied to College Courts and ASWC, and I started up as like a event planning commissioner. So that was the first day.
That's like, wow. So you got engaged right away. And all it took were free snacks.
That's what we know. Always have snacks.
So Ty, lots of education choices out there. Why'd you choose MVC?
Because honestly, I'm gonna be real. The reason I chose NBC is because it's closer to where I live. It's in the city I'm in. And I have to be in college because this is probably oversharing. I'm former foster, so when you get into a THP program, you either have to work or go to college or do both to be able to, you know.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so that's why I was just like, I have to go to college. But when I came here, I learned that this college is like, from what I've heard over the time that I've been here, like everybody's like, you know, this college always has so much life in it. It's so lively. The teachers, professors, faculty, everybody's so supportive. They're here, they're listening to you. So I was just like, I felt the same way, and I was glad that I wasn't, because I was like, really just me, or this really feels like a community here. Like I really feel welcome. I don't feel pushed out, even though I still get nervous and stuff, because I'm just like, ugh, but you know.
No need, you're among friends. Just along the way, is there a professor who really stands out? Maybe you want to give him a shout out right now, or her?
A professor that I took, I would say Dr. Renzi. I really do love Dr. Renzi. Like every time she sees me, she's like, "Hi Ty, how are you? What are you doing? I'm so proud of you. You're doing this, that, and this. I always see you doing this." And I'm just like, thank you. Like it's nice to know that somebody's watching me and they're supporting me and they're there for me. So Dr. Renzi.
And for our audience who may not know Dr. Renzi, what class was it?
So I think it was African American history. So I think it was that.
I love that. That's the same person I thought it was.
Okay, so let's look at Ty. Let's put the spotlight on you.
Okay.
You, like I said, lots of choices out there for higher ed. Why'd you choose NBC? What made us so lucky to get you?
Thank you. Honestly, similar reasoning as Ty. I live in the area, Moreno Valley College. And I wanted to do something a little different. I actually was in corporate America for quite some time and just decided I needed a change. And when I quit, I was like, okay, well, what's around here? Where can I go to get the education? And Moreno Valley College was closest. I had actually thought about coming here a couple years prior, just to take a couple of courses. So I was kind of familiar with the campus as well a little bit. And I was like, well, I enjoyed, when I visited before, let me go ahead and, and like Tyjon said, it's a really amazing community of people here. Like, you really come to this place and it's like, okay, this is a 2-year institution, but then you don't want to leave. We have to, but it really makes you feel that way.
Well, for whatever it might be worth, I'll just share that, when I was applying for this job here, you were really one of the first ambassadors of my day on campus.
Oh, wow.
And I remember when I wouldn't call it facing the firing squad.
Oh, yes.
I was
like, oh my God.
When I was in my campus forum and I had all of these people looking at me,
Yes.
I kept looking at you to kind of feel reassured. You kept smiling at me, and I kept getting this vibe of it's okay.
We're gonna make it through this.
And look, we're here. Excellent.
Yes, together. I love that.
Yeah. What's your major?
My major currently is business, but these math classes have had me rethinking that lately.
Okay.
But yes, I want to be an entrepreneur at some point, and the business classes are the way for me to go right now.
All right. So, at some point when you apply for your entrepreneurial licenseship and all that, what are you interested in doing?
Ultimately, when I get to that point, I want to own my own bank. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely It was definitely that. I had never heard of it before. And I'm like, where did this thought come from? And I was like, I don't even know where to start. But once the thought hit my brain, I was like, okay, let me look into this a little more, do a little bit more research, try to figure out what the steps actually are. And I've just been learning a lot along the way.
What attracts you to doing it?
I think it's more the finance aspect.
Okay.
Like I said, wanting to own multiple businesses and being able to take care of my own money and everybody else's in that process. So
what would be the experience a customer at your bank
Oh.
would have that would
What
really
a
make
great
make
question.
it ideal?
Honestly, I think I would want to make sure that we are completely staffed. I hate going to the bank and there's always a line.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Me too.
But also having a line also means you have a lot of customers. So just depends on how you take it. I definitely want to be the place where they have refreshments, coffee, water, an open lounge upon coming in. I just want it to be very customer friendly.
And just remember from the
Yes.
experience we've heard about here, free
Food,
snacks range
drinks,
your
and-
look at
Yes.
people in. So that's great. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what are you taking this semester?
Woo. Okay, so this semester I have English, 1B, or I think they changed the numbers now, but critical thinking and writing, macroeconomics, woo, yes, a survey of Black thought, and I have one more class, guys. I'm so sorry.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah, but yes, actually have
Not to mention one last student about our
Right.
president.
that. Yes.
So
It was a lot.
All right, wow. Well, before we ask our other guests the same question, I'll just quickly remind our audience that you are tuned in to the President's Hour. Always available how?
We are online.
Oh, yep, always available on iTunes, iHeartRadio,
Correct.
Spotify, and if you want to see an old episode, as always, Dr. Besikof Talks Education YouTube channel.
Yes, we are here for you.
Ty, how about you? What's your major?
My major juries are the social and behavioral science and social work. I'm trying to do both of them
Okay.
because I was gonna graduate earlier, but I was like, I might as well just get the social work, so because I have to take an extra amount of HMS classes. So I was just saying, might as well get that way. Yeah.
So if I'm at Costco and I bump into you 5 years from now, what do you think you'll be doing?
So I am in the social work field for my major, but I don't think I want to be particularly a social worker. I think I'm very good with people, and I think that social work is very like broad, so it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a social worker. I Right now I'm still I had another turning point because I've been overthinking what I want to do.
Same.
But I know eventually, like I do want to own my own business, but relating to policy and advocacy, I really want to build a community where underserved communities, and even people that are not underserved, people that, they still have certain issues that they need, I want to be able to go into the macro aspect of it, because we have the macro meso, all plus. And then, because I really like politics. I do enjoy politics. I mean, not too much. Sometimes I have to take a break, but I do enjoy politics. I like seeing things get done. I want to be the type of person people come to and they can vent to me about their problems. And then I have a team that can work with them on a specific issue. And then we advocate for that and we take that up to whoever we need to take that up to. And we just, we do our part. You know what I'm saying?
Make it happen.
So let's say that you start your own firm at doing that, or perhaps you take on a leadership role in the civic arena, and I hand you a magic wand, and you can do anything. What would you do first?
I feel like I don't know. I really thought that far now.
And let's say in addition to that magic wand, I gave you enough money to make whatever change or maintain whatever initiative you had going. What do you think that would be?
I think I would probably invest into communities around Cal. I was served California. Maybe like parts in like Los Angeles, San Bernardino. I kind of want to build back environments because I feel like it really does start with your environment. Like I really do believe that, and I really want to make people's towns, homes, like more pleasantly, aesthetically pleasing and clean, and like I want to start there, and then eventually we'll get to the other matters at hand, whether that be racism, sexism, all the other stuff. But I
On the isms.
yeah, I just want to start with their environment because I feel like, especially when newer generations come and they grow up like me, when I grew up in San Bernardino is not the prettiest place ever. So you already have a certain idea, like growing up there and then going to see other places like Ontario and all these other places, you're like, oh my gosh, like these are beautiful places.
Yeah, it's just the difference in the communities.
So I'm hearing kind of quality of life right out of the gate is what's important. Well, given that I put you on the spot with that question, I appreciate the answer.
So things seem pretty hectic, right? At times, going into your first set of exams, your first set of assignments. This is a new semester. What are some of your secrets to survival?
Some of our audience may be first semester
Yeah, what's-
students just getting started. This is a chance for you, the two of you, to play mentor a little bit. What secrets would you, or what secrets to success would you provide?
I really want to. I've been wanting to tell people this like for a long time. One thing I was really saying for students to do is see, like, based off, because you know how we have to plan for our semesters, right? When we pick our classes, I would say order your classes in a particular way that doesn't kind of like have your brain going into multiple different avenues every single time. So when I first started, I needed to also meet with your counselors, please. Please, please. You would have to meet with your counselors. So I was letting Miss Ashley know that I did not want to do English, science, and math. They cannot, none of those can be in the same semester at all because I know how I get. I know that my mind is very, it wanders, and I know I get overwhelmed fast. So, especially, and we do get a lot of graduating high schoolers. So, I would tell them to organize your schedule in a particular way that doesn't conflict with other classes that are kind of unrelated. Like, kind of relate them a bit.
So, I'm very interested about your answer to this question, Kai. Just someone who has been a working professional coming into this setting, all the wisdom that you can impart. What advice would you get to a first semester student?
I have a couple of pieces of advice. First and foremost is get to know your professor. Communicate with your professor. That's very important. That's not something I did my first semester. And I'm realizing now, communication is definitely important. And the professors are here to support and help you to be successful. So if there's issues, reach out. Make sure that you are communicating. They want to see you succeed. My other suggestion and piece of advice is manage your time well and take care of yourself. In that time management, include yourself in those times. Make sure you're scheduling time to take a walk, take a break between the studying, so that you don't get overwhelmed. I did that to myself before as well. As just too many things going on at one time, overloaded myself, and I felt like I was going into a complete mental breakdown. So allowing yourself the time to take care of you in between making sure that all your work is done and managing your time well for each course.
So I'm really hearing start with your own wellness.
Absolutely. It's definitely important.
And you said to reach out to a counselor. Let's imagine there's a person who's shy, timid. What step do they go to reach out to a counselor or to their faculty for the help that they need if they are that person?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Everyone's information is online on the MVC website. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to people in person, you can send an email. You can, I believe they have other avenues, virtual options for counseling as well. So I think,
And for reaching your faculty, that would be a way too. Email.
Some faculty like to respond through Canvas. They use Canvas a lot more than their emails. So you just have
And what's Gabis?
Canvas is
Like for people that don't know, what is Canvas? Like,
I don't know the exact definition, but I won't explain it in a way that it kind of makes sense. So Canvas, I would say, is your hub of all your classes. It has your syllabus. It has all of your assignments on there. It tells you your grades. So that's just the hub for your particular classes, and they all have Canvas shells. And the Canvas shell is your entire class in one little box. And you click on it, and
Great
it has
description.
everything in there.
I love, since we're talking about secrets to success and everything, I do want to back up Kai and ask a question I asked Ty earlier.
Okay.
Is there a particular faculty member that really has made a difference for you, or just the experience of their class was something you remember?
And when you asked the question, I thought about Dr. Lindsay as well.
Oh, wow.
I took her Black feminism class, and it was absolutely amazing. But also, Anne Fifely, I took her history class, and her passion for history, and it was absolutely amazing. So I think those are the two that I would say definitely made a difference.
Yeah, well, I will say, just in the course of getting to know people, I spoke with Professor Fifely, and we talked about history for a minute, and certainly just the enthusiasm pays off the chart.
I love it.
So, both of you taking a lot of classes, busy, but you're also doing student activities, particularly extracurricular things outside of class. How does that help your experience in the classroom? How does it help you as a student with your classes?
Actually, it helped me a lot. Being in student government actually has provided me with so many resources. Mostly the community. Just getting to know people, everyone is so helpful, so outgoing. They're willing to, assist in any way they possibly can. And I love that. Going over, if you have the same class, I actually took a class the same prior, and it was so amazing for us to be able to work with each other and bounce ideas off each other, because stats was hard. But having someone that you can kind of lean on or talk to, or, you know, ask about different resources that are available, I think that's definitely a big part of what's helped me to get kind of maneuver through my time here so far.
Would you, Tai, could you speak to that? Maybe this idea that some of your best teachers will actually be your classmates.
I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, Kai has been teaching me that, you know, sometimes, because I'm a very shy, quiet person. I do get loud when I'm comfortable. I did talk when I'm comfortable, but Kai has showed me that I can be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to portray an image that I'm not, that I don't fit, or just to fit in with other people. So honestly, and like taking stats with her really showed me that she's dedicated, like, and I wanted to be as dedicated as her, because she was saying, like, because I was like, oh, let's do this because this is an easier way. She was like, no, I want to understand the from the beginning to the end, because if I don't understand it, it's gonna drive me insane. So, it really made me think, like, oh my God, like, I really need to start doing things and actually being determined to do them and taking the initiative to know it from the beginning to the end and finish, and not take any shortcuts, because especially if I'm going to be somebody that helps people, advocates for people, and does things for people, I'm going to be doing them a disservice if I'm not actually, you know, doing what I need to do.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was just like, wow.
Yeah. No, and I think just as I know in my own case, whether it was my bachelor's degree or my master's, and especially my doctorate, just having that, is, you said the word community, of fellow students to engage with is great. And I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but I certainly remember just taking a lot of my classes, and from 10 o'clock until probably into approaching 1 a.m., being on my landline phone with a classmate. There was no FaceTime, no Zoom, no anything. It was almost, you know, we had those Dixie pecks with the string. No, I'm not quite that. Not quite that, but just, you know, but even though we didn't have the technology, we had the engagement and that very sense of community that you mentioned. Yeah.
This is also great, you guys. So I don't know if you guys take in-person, hybrid, online classes, but we offer a myriad of stuff here, right? Different modalities for people. How is it engaging in-person versus online, depending on what you take? Like, what is the difference, but what's the benefit of each that you guys have found?
Well, for me, I do not do well in online courses.
Okay.
I have learned that about myself. The first semester, I decided to do all in-person classes because I hadn't been to school in a very long time. And so coming back, I wanted to make sure I was, you know, engaging. I was doing all the things and learning everything I needed to in order to be successful. The very next semester, I was like, oh, okay, let's try an online class. Wrong. Definitely not for me. I have been okay and a bit more successful with the hybrid courses, but it is definitely my favorite thing to be in person with people. I'm a people person. I love to be able to bounce ideas and perspectives off of other people, and just sit in a room like this and be able to engage with other people. That's kind of how I feed off of.
Was there anything in addition to kind of that lack of face-to-face engagement that was challenging for you as an online student?
Technology. Like I said, graduated a very long time ago when everything was being written on paper and turned into a teacher. So having to try to learn the technology on top of the course material was not working for me.
I don't know if this, I think this will reassure you, just so you know, as I go throughout my day and I go to meetings, I put these on my table and I basically try to not check them at all. And I have a notebook and just take handwritten notes.
I do too. I still do. It's how I learn best, because I guess it's the way I initially started learning. So taking notes and writing things out helps me to retain the information better also. So I think that in person, being able to listen and hear, and like I said, hear other people's point of view on certain discussions or topics helps me to think about the different topics that we're discussing or whatever the course is for that particular time. But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, engaging conversation with our student leaders here at Moreno Valley College, right here at the President's Hour, heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and also seen on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Besikof Talks Education. Can the two of you stick around for a while? I've got to do a little bit of business here, and then I'd like to come back and continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
Appreciate this time. Leslie, this has been great conversation.
Yes, it has. Thank you, guys.
So, I'd like to transition at the halfway point in our show to talk about our Partners of MVC feature. And we've got a very special partner this week, which actually is the city of Moreno Valley itself. They are hosting a job fair event, actually, and a job event itself, a career event, on Thursday, September 18th, down near City Hall at the Conference and Recreation Center. It's on Frederick Street, specifically 14075. Again, it is Thursday, the 18th of September from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Nice kind of open house thing to do.
Yes.
They're doing that. So Leslie, can you tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on at the event?
So this event is open to the public and our veterans. There are going to be raffle prizes, refreshments, speed workshops. These speed workshops are 30-minute workshops on resume writing, interview skills, VA benefits 101, apprenticeship opportunities, and how to start a small business. So if this is something that interests you, you are welcome to come. It is one of our partners. We are excited for this job fair and all the great things. And again, who doesn't like refreshments? Who doesn't like raffle prizes?
That's right. The free snacks. Here we go. It all gets back to free snacks, doesn't it? And just give it, what Tai and Kai have shared with us. I think they might be there on the 18th.
Yeah.
That's extremely that's possible. But
Also, as we transition at this point in the show, I'll go ahead and remind listeners, as always, that Moreno Valley College supports students with scholarships, including my very own MVC President's Excellence Fund. This is in part for currently enrolled students who may in the middle of the semester experience something like a flat tire, missing books, or something else that's an obstacle. So students, if you are enrolled in experiencing such difficulties during your semester, please contact my office at 951-571-6060. Again, 951-571-6060. And we will provide more information to you about this scholarship opportunity. Now, the money has to come from somewhere, right?
Yes. That's
So to
very
support
important.
students, MVC partners with the RCCD Foundation. Executive Director Jeffrey Katz is awesome. And just in this collaboration, we jointly invite companies, community leaders, and members of the public to consider giving to the President's Fund, or even to make a different donation to other programs of study, scholarship opportunities outside my office, equipment donations, or any other educational resources that they think might benefit our students. Besides that warm fuzzy or the benefit that comes with helping students, I'll also share that any charitable gift to Moreno Valley College is tax deductible, and it is processed through the RCCD Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. To donate, or even if you're considering it, please visit the foundation website at rccd.edu/community/foundation. Or you know what, they have a very simple email. You can reach out to them at foundation@rccd.edu. But you know what, oftentimes, gifts a personal thing, and maybe you want to connect with the president of the college or connect with somebody at the college just to explore options of giving. I invite you to reach out to me personally. You can give me a call at 951-571-6060 or email me directly at Besikof, Besikof, @mbc.edu. And then, of course, the final part of my message is to our employees. Colleagues here at MVC, I'll just share with you that, a monthly payroll deduction, that also provides opportunities for students, and it's a commitment you can make that's ongoing. And you can really do it for any amount that you choose. And just to give an example, Leslie,
Yes.
4 Starbucks cups of coffee, if you did that, whatever that amount is, every month, that type of generosity, just as tuition, could cover 2 classes for a student.
That's, think about that. Just
Our Chromebook.
right. A cup of coffee a week could cover 2 classes or something like a Chromebook. So to my colleagues, I would say also, again, you can do it pre-tax. It's tax deductible. And if you have any questions at all, my office or Jeffrey Katz's at the foundation can provide answers to any questions at all. Okay. So getting back to our guests, Leslie, we talked to them about their journeys and the studying experience, but now I want to know about something, and that is serving in the student government. So, Tai, how'd you get into it? You kind of told us a little bit, that information booth got you into it, but what was it that made you decide, yes, I want to run for an ASMBC position?
So it was mainly the people there. Like I said, it was community. They welcomed me. They talked me through everything. I had so many questions like, what do you do? Why do you do this? Why does this happen? Like, I was so like, and every time I asked a question, nobody was like, why you always asking questions? Why you always doing this? Why can't you just do this? Everybody was clear, and they had the information like that, and I liked that. I was like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be able to get information just like that. Our previous student body, like we had Michael, Alicia, Tiara, Kai. But Kai's still here. But the rest of them, they graduated, but they were all like, everybody there, even Kai, I felt close to them. So, I just really felt like at home. Miss Moore was like, I don't know, I feel like Miss Moore was like our aunt of Miss Veronica Orlando. So it just felt like a family. Yeah. So I was just like, this is what made me want to stay. And then also the middle college students, they felt like siblings kind of, because like when I got to see them, they were always happy to see me. They're like, Ty, what you doing? And it was just like the vibe, everything was great. And it made me want to just stay.
Kai, let's say somebody's on the fence about joining ASMBC. What would you tell them?
No need to be on a fence. Let's
Why
not
not?
happen.
Okay.
Come, let's do it.
Well,
Because
tell us about your journey and how you got into it.
okay, well, like I said, it was an event that I attended, and actually, it's so funny because it was for a class. I was actually looking for Miss Moore when I ran into this event. I needed to meet with her to sign up to volunteer at her events. I was taking I think a work experience class or something of that nature. I needed to have volunteer hours. And so initially, like I said, that's what got me started. But like I said, once I walked into that event, I was like pulled in. Everything from, like I said, the attire, everyone there. And it's so funny, the president at the time was Dr. Steinbeck. And I didn't know. Like I said, it was my first semester. I'd probably been on campus maybe a couple of weeks. And her and I believe Maj were sitting at the very first table when I walked in. And I was like, oh, is there anyone sitting here? And they welcomed me. Oh, have a seat. And I was like, wait, I'm sitting at the table with the president of the school. I had no idea. But everyone was so welcoming. And so it was like, okay. So as I, started to volunteer my time and started to see the different types of events that were going on and how engaging they were, I was like, well, this is the place for me. So from there, I actually decided to get more involved, and I became the Events Planning Council Director. And that was last year. So we were the ones who set up the events, did all the decorations, decided what type of foods we would have, things like that. And then from here, like Ty said, the community of people that we had around us, Alicia Taylor was our president last year. And her and I got very close and talked about becoming president for this year. So it was really funny. And I was like, okay, well, do we have a succession plan? Do we have any of these things in place? Because I need to know before I put myself into these shoes, like, what am I getting myself into? But it was honestly a no-brainer. It was like, we have really built a community with each other, whether it be in classes, events, our meetings, conferences. We really did build a family. And I was like, I want everyone else to feel like that too. So when we meet these people, it's like, hey, cousin, or, I want them to feel that same love that I showed when I started. And so if they are on the fence for any reason, join our community. There's no need. You really just fit in. Everyone comes and they slide right on in, and we just keep it going. Yeah.
It's a variety. We have so much diversity, so many different people, so many different colors, so many different minds. Yes, we have that. That's what welcome. We want that. That's what you government like. You need that.
The diversity.
No, it's great because I often say what you just said about really just being welcoming of everyone, honoring diversity, in fact, leveraging it just because it's so great and so powerful. So to hear students say things that I say as a leader, that warms my heart. Now,
Well, let's just pause because we asked 99 questions. We have one, and that is, have you served in student government? Do you know what they're talking about?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, interesting you should ask. My senior year of high school, I was student body vice president. And then my sophomore year of college, and we had 1,500 people in our dorms. I was the dorm council president. And what I will share about that was our meetings basically consisted of different groups of students coming and asking for money for either events but more importantly, to buy pizza for events. So I kind of became known as the pizza president. That was kind of my moniker, if you will. So, but you know what? Behind that, though, they're running meetings. They're maybe public speaking and things like that. But Kai, you touched on something behind the scenes, which was event planning and the work that goes behind it.
There's definitely a lot of work.
Could you talk about that a little bit and just maybe what you've learned?
Absolutely. Honestly, I've learned so much from budgeting to the time management. Some of these things you have to put in place a month prior, and we literally start planning them, a few months prior so that we do have the time to get all the things done, whether that be contacting restaurants for prices on catering, whether that be contacting a speaker that we would like to come out and provide some type of educational information on whatever our event may be. The budgeting for sure, time management, because again, we've had some things happen where we've been calling, we don't hear back from people. Now it's a week out to the event and we're scrambling. So learning those things, I think has been great for me. Especially since I love the party. I love being able to see everyone come together and just enjoy what we've planned out. And it's been great.
Leslie, I'm hearing a lot of things in that answer that suggest transferable skills.
Yes.
So that someday in the future, when we go to Kai's Bank of Moreno Valley, I think a lot of those lessons learned along the way we'll see manifested in just the welcome our customers receive. That's
I totally
just my
agree.
2 cents.
All of those soft transferable skills is going to pay off.
Ty, how about you? Behind the scenes planning, where are some things you maybe learned
that people wouldn't know necessarily about being in student leadership?
There's a lot to do. You're going to get called on a lot and you have to do a lot of things. Right now I don't have a pro temp, so a lot of things kind of follow me. I have to chair Senate meetings because as a vice president, I have to be the chair of the Senate. And then,
To interrupt you a second, Leslie, I went to his first meeting on Monday. You want to talk about a well-attended, professionally run event. I thought Ty was killing it. He was doing a great job. Yeah.
no, I was nervous too because I knew Dr. Besikof was gonna be there, and since Angie and Dean Avila, I was just like, oh, must help me crazy.
It didn't show. You look like you've done it 100 times.
I have done it once. We got trained. I had to be trained. I was like, Ms. Moore, I'm not one to embarrass myself on the first season. So there's that. I have to make agendas. Then I have to do minutes on the agendas that we cover on Senate meeting. Oh, sorry. Kai has to make her agendas as well, and I have to take minutes for EC meetings because as vice president, I have to, I'm her color as well. You know what I'm saying? So I do my part on that. I make sure all the senators are on their shared governance committees. So I have to make sure that there's at least two senators per committee. we're adding some committees, like district committees. I haven't gotten any information on that yet. Still updating.
Wow, you know what, Leslie, what I would say is, I see somebody who's, when he either provides leadership or starts his own political advocacy firm, getting people in the right place, organizing discussions. I see a lot of those skills that he's
Covered off
kind of honed right
Pro
now.
Tem,
Yeah.
note taker, admin, delegator.
Oh yes, I also have to be the delegate for our college. So for SSCCC, we have.
What's SSCCC? Just
You
in
know what,
case.
before he tells us, I am going to remind our audience, though, they are tuned into the President's Hour. Heard right here on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and also seen on YouTube. SSCCC, what is it?
So that is the student SSCCC student.
I can help if you need it.
Yes, please.
Student Senate for California
Yes, okay.
Colleges. There you go. Right, it's basically the statewide student
Here I
government.
was thinking it was a step. No.
So, you know what? I'm going to shift gears a little bit with the few minutes we got left, because one thing that has really impressed me, especially here at Moreno Valley College, is that the student government is not off in some room just having meetings. As we look outside here, we have events and we have tabling, which we've had pretty much every day I've been here, it seems like. But also, when our college got together to talk about its strategic goals and its plans for the year through our college council, this was 2 Fridays ago. It was out at our Ben Clark Training Center, where students can get police, fire, emergency training, including a bachelor's degree in emergency services. I'm so proud of it. But anyway, out there 2 Fridays ago, we had a meeting, and college-wide leadership, which included the two of you as college leaders, you were there. Share your thoughts on that experience.
I really want to say, because I forgot to mention this before, but I really loved how you guys took in our input. Like, I was so surprised that everybody included Dr. Besikof, especially him, because he was really like, I really want to hear from him.
Yeah, I think the words follow-up question came out of my mouth about 8 times, but yeah.
So that's why I was just so like surprised, because I've never experienced something like that before, to be heard by faculty administration. Actually, it was a lot of administration there. And it was just nice to get that opportunity to be on the table like that. So I think that's for me.
Yeah, I told him to save that question for you because I know you're very excited about it.
I love college council.
So when we went to breakout groups, you either had the opportunity or the misfortune of being in the same group as me. But what do you remember from that day? Not just from the gathering.
It was an honor to be in it with you.
Oh, thank you.
What I remember is just all of the great information that I heard, all of the endeavors and things that are to come, all of the things that we have planned, the action that we're going to take. I thought that was awesome. And just like Ty said, being able to be in those rooms, the fact that you guys even want a student on each of those committees, you know, it's really great to be able to be in those rooms and to hear what's going on.
Well, if I can clarify, and of course, want is a key word, but I would say need. So it's even stronger than want. I'm just, for me, throughout the years, when I've sat on governance committees or led them, if somebody's sitting in the student seats, I always feel our work is the better for it. I really do. But, well, listen, just want to appreciate the two of you. Thank you for your leadership, not just as members of the student government, but members of college leadership. And you are very important stakeholders, and really just the reason we're all here is so that you're successful. And you know, when you sit and watch graduation and you see people succeed, you own a piece of that, not just your own educational journey, but theirs as well, thanks to the leadership.
Making it happen, right? That's your
Make
motto.
it happen.
Make it happen.
That's right.
Make it happen. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, quick question before I close. If somebody wants information about being part of student government or student life in general, how do they get in touch with you?
Oh, well, that's a good question. We don't really have phone numbers.
We had an Instagram.
Okay, tell us the Instagram.
The Instagram is ASMBC2. And then we also
I
have,
think it's ASMBC.
oh yeah, 2020. Lauren Chin. She's our ICC co-director, and she's also our social media specialist. She runs that account.
Oh yeah, you can definitely send a DM there. She'll definitely make sure that we get it. We both also have email, which both can be found on mvc.edu. We're on the student government page. Or you can come visit us at the student activities office.
Excellent.
Right behind
Located where, though?
behind the lines, right behind the lines. Okay.
So get a bite to eat, then walk behind that building and go find out about student government. That's great, cool. Leslie, as we wrap up this edition of the President's Hour, we want to thank our MVC and RCCD audience, as well as those up and down the great state of California. That's right. We've got an audience all over the state.
Welcome.
Whether down to the border in the 619 or all the way up to the far north in the 717 and the 530. Also, big shout out, thank you to LinkedIn and Instagram Nation. Or right here, thanks to our audience in the 951 tuning in today from Paris, Rancho Las Perras, Nuevo, Good Hope, Lakeview Hot Springs, Mead Valley, Mission Grove, Orange Crest, Sedona, Woodcrest, El Casco, Paso de Lago, Moreno Knolls, Moreno Beach, and of course, those right here on campus at Moreno Valley College. As we close up shop at the President's Hour and try to dodge all that traffic on LaSalle before getting onto the 215 talk about traffic, the 60, the 10, or the 91. Leslie, take us home.
Well, everyone, it's been a great episode. Thank you for tuning in to MVC's President Hour, hosted by Dr. Rudy Besikof. This is co-host Leslie Vargas. And if you have a suggestion for a future show, please email us at prezhour@mvc.edu.